Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man Knowledge here. Today, I'm gonna hit everybody with some knowledge, some information, some shit that could possibly get you ahead, of somebody else. And today, I'm gonna talk about how to get a job in a fucked up economy. Uh, you know, I'm not ashamed to say, I had a hard time finding a job when I was in college. When I got out of college, I had a hard time finding a job, and it ain't easy out here, especially when you live in these mecca states like New York, California, Detroit is fucked up out there. Down south, it's a tad bit better, but it's messed up all across America. It's hard for people to get jobs, and basically, what I want to say is that you before you even do anything, you got to be ambitious to want to find a job. A lot of times, these people out here, especially, I'm gonna keep it real. Our younger people, they want a job, but they don't want to put in the work they need to do to get that job. They'll spend days and hours on Facebook talking shit, or texting and talking on the phone. But if you really think about it, they put that same type of effort and time into finding some employment, they'd probably be better off. So that's number one. You gotta have your priorities right, and you gotta be ambitious to want to find a job. Second, I will say, be prepared for the bullshit. Just like my man EDP, shout out to him. Eat that pussy 445. Y'all check him. He's made a lot of videos about his hard time finding work. In Bakersfield. And all through California, it's terrible. You can't find no work out here. It's just really hard. And he had made a video talking about how the bitch had him come down there to the job. Said he was gonna interview or whatever. He gets up, says he went in the heat, took the bus. I know Bakersfield, it gets hot as hell out there. I know. Gets on the bus, take the bus all the way down there. Come to find out when he gets it, this dumb hoe left the goddamn job. So now, not only has he wasted his time and energy, but he's wasted bus fare that he does not have because he's not working to get to somewhere he thought he had an interview, but because some dumbass didn't use common sense to call him back and say, hey, I'm not going to be there today, let's reschedule, he ended up wasting his time. So that's why I say, be prepared for the bullshit. But when you finally do get, an interview, I'm going to keep it real. You got to outshine everybody. I remember getting seasonal jobs at, Toys R Us, and I used to work at Target. I mean, I had so many jobs. I used to wash cars, shit. I worked at Taco Bell for a minute, so, I know how to earn a dollar. I know the value of a dollar bill. And, when you go into these interviews, you have to outshine everybody. You have to think about, before that interview even starts, you have to think about, what can I say, or what type of qualities do I have that makes me stand out better than the next person. And if you black, you really got to be on your game, because we already systematically are being cast out of these jobs. I'm going to keep it real. A lot of Hispanics are taking the job. I'm not saying, black folks can't get a job or blaming the Hispanics. I blame the government. I blame the system that we're living in. But when we look at a lot of these, fast food, retail places, a lot of the managers and stuff, Hispanics. So, naturally they're going to pull in their own people. And with them being a higher population, a lot of times they have the demand and power. But I say that you gotta come with something that nobody else has, and that's with any job. You have to be able to sell yourself. You make other people believe in you. You gotta come in there. You gotta you gotta not necessarily lie, but you gotta talk that shit. And you gotta be on point. And you can't expect people to give you anything. A lot of times people ask me, oh, how did you get a job at Def Jam? I want to do that. I want to get into the music industry or whatever. And I made a video about this on my old page, Knowledge 562, and I always say nobody gave me a damn thing. You know, I networked. I got my name out there. I had printed up business cards. I started hitting the clubs, not to chase ass or, chase chicks. I started, talking and networking with people who were in the industry. I went personally down to a lot of record companies, Sony, Epic, what's that joint name? The one Dr. Dre with, Aftermath or whatever the fuck, the Interscope. That's it. And finally at Def Jam, they saw my persistence, and I met with a guy, James Harlan, that really believed in me, really, felt that I can bring something different to the music industry, and I had that vision of art and recognizing talent, as long as with my work ethic, and he believed in me and he gave me a shot. I was able to get me an intern. I was working for free for a whole year and a half, and from that's how I was able to get on. So, you gotta be persistent. You have to network. Don't just sit on the computer all day. Go out, talk to people. When you do put in the application on the internet, whether it's for Taco Bell or a big, corporation, call them. Say, hey, I put in my resume, I put in my application. I'm calling to see, if there's a position been filled. Has my application been, looked over? And when you give them your name, always say your name too. Say it more than 2 times. They're gonna remember that. They're gonna say, yeah, this cat right here is really persistent. This cat really wants to work. They're hungry for this position, and you're gonna stand out. And they might say, let's call him in for an interview. Let's give him the job. So you really have to be able to stand out and really sell yourself, and you have to be willing to work. Hey, that's how it is. Because a lot of times you might get a job, but a lot of people can't keep it. Some people have that problem. But it's a competition out here in America. When we first come out of our mother's womb, everything is competition. Who's a valedictorian? Where do you rate within your classmates? Who's a summa cum laude? Who has the biggest GPA? We're breeded to be in competition. And go against each other and compete. That's just the way America is. But they so-called got that saying, together we stand, divided we fall, which is bullshit. But that's pretty much what I want to say. Just for y'all that's having a hard time finding work, you just got to get out here. You really got to grind. You really have to market yourself. You really have to get your name out there. You have to be ambitious. You have to be motivated. You have to have your priorities intact, because if you don't, it's always someone you sleeping or you bullshitting on Facebook, or talking to some dumbass dude or fucking a chick or something like that. It's always somebody else that's working while your ass is bullshitting, and that's the way you got to think of it. For y'all that know me personally, it's not good for my health, but I don't get a lot of sleep because I'm always working. Neither I'm in school. For y'all that know, I'm trying to get my music business degree. I'm in school. I'm at work. I'm working with artists. I'm traveling. I'm always doing something. I'm writing papers, doing formats at home. I'm always busy, and I don't get a lot of sleep. But I'd rather grind and work hard now while I'm young than have to do it when I'm 55 years old. When I get, in my late 50s, 60s, I want to be able to kick my feet up and say, hey, I did my job. Now I can chill. Now I can go to the Bahamas and just bullshit because I did my job and I did my work and put my years in. But that's all I got to say. Y'all comment, subscribe, put in the invite. Excuse me. Put in the advice you have. Anything you want to add on, something that might help for you, helped you or got you a job. But that's it. I'm out, y'all. Stay positive. Peace.